Hey guys, so I've been AWOL again for a while and I'm really sorry. It's been such a hectic month. I've been working like 40 plus hours a week, and we've also had some slightly unexpected guests in the house which have been like just here a lot, which has meant that I've felt really self-conscious about filming, and the few chances I would have had for filming I didn't really feel comfortable filming because but they're not here and I'm not at work for another, I don't have to leave for another hour, so I thought I'd really quickly film. This is the reading habits tag. I was tagged by Chris at the Reading Roads. So question 1, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Not really. I mean, I tend to just read on my bed if I'm at home, or I do like to sort of clear off my windowsill and sit on my window ledge with my feet hanging out the window and just read there. That's quite nice when the weather's nice, obviously. Bookmark or random piece of paper? I really like using bookmarks, and I do try to use proper bookmarks, but old habits die hard when it comes to, I used to read loads of books at once, and I'm kind of getting back into that, which is really bad because it means I don't stay focused on one thing and I don't finish things faster. But if I'm not using a bookmark, I tend to use train tickets because. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter? I don't like just stopping. I try to find a natural break, so the end of a paragraph or the end of some dialogue, or a break in the narrative in general. Or I do like to finish on a chapter. If I'm reading on the train and I know my stop's coming up but I'm close to the end of the chapter, I'll try and finish the chapter, or if I'm at the second to last stop but the chapter I'm about to start is really long, I won't bother starting the chapter until I'm on the train home. Question 4, do you eat or drink while reading? It depends. Not usually. I mean, because I tend to only get a chance to read when I get the chance. Sometimes on the train to work I'll have a coffee, and so I would drink that whilst reading, or sometimes I'll be reading on my lunch break, so I will be eating my lunch whilst reading. But I do try and eat and then read, but sometimes I only get 15 minutes for my break, so I don't have a lot of time. So if I really want to read in that time, then I just either do both at the same time or eat after my shift. Priorities. Multitasking, music or TV while reading? I prefer silence, but sometimes if I'm finding a book quite difficult I tend to listen to the audiobook whilst reading it, because I find that I can understand it a lot better and understand the tone of it and where it's coming from. I feel like that is helping me a lot. And sometimes I will listen to music, but I'm not really listening to the music, I can tune it out. So if there's a specifically annoying noise on the train, I will put my headphones in, so at least I've got a familiar background noise, like some nice acoustic-y music or something with, not necessarily without lyrics, but with lyrics I don't necessarily have to think about. So yeah, sometimes I don't watch TV whilst reading unless it's background noise, but I don't tend to watch TV. So when I was at uni I used to do that because TV was pretty much always on as background noise, because my house used to be really quiet, creepily quiet. Question 6, one book at a time or several at once? I kind of already answered this. I mean, I used to be the type of person that would read 10 books at once at least, and I still can do that perfectly easily. I mean, I find it really easy to jump in and out of the worlds that I'm within as soon as I start reading a text again. But I'm trying to do one at a time at the moment, although at the moment it's not really going that way. I've got 3 or 4 books on the go at the moment because I'm kind of panicking at the fact that I've barely read anything and it's nearly the end of the month and I'm a terrible person, but I've had a huge reading slump and loads of things that I've been trying to do and barely any time to do it. So that's probably big reason. Such an idiot. But yeah, so I do try and read one at a time, and I think I do better. I focus more, I get more into the story, and I appreciate it more if I do one at a time, but I can read multiple books at a time. It's not difficult for me. Question 7. Reading at home or everywhere? I don't really have the luxury of choice in this one. I have to read when I can because I work a lot. So yeah, whether that be audiobooks before I go to sleep, because I literally cannot handle having the light on anymore because I'm so tired, or whether that's reading whilst walking to work, or reading whilst on the train, or reading while waiting for my shift to start, or reading on my lunch breaks, or things like that. Like, I literally just read everywhere because I don't have a choice. Otherwise I would have a very, very small window of time that I could actually read, and it just wouldn't happen very much. Question 8, reading out loud or silently in your head? In my head. I didn't realise people read out loud, like just standard. Okay, if something doesn't make sense to me though, I find it helpful to read it out loud. 9, do you read ahead or do you skip pages? No, sometimes like I can sort of glance at the next page, like if it books like that, and I glance at the page over that I'm not actually on, and I kind of hate myself for it, because it's just my luck that I always manage to see a spoiler by accident. But I try not to do that. You know, I've flicked through books sometimes and read chapter titles sometimes, which have spoiled me for certain things. I mean, there was a certain point in Harry Potter where I read through and like flicked through Half-Blood Prince before I actually bought it, because the thing that happened was like you'd get it like 10 minutes before it was actually allowed to be sold at a midnight release, and then you could go around the shop, because we got it in a supermarket, so obviously they wanted people to go around shopping and get some money for themselves, and let alone just getting profits off the book. And I was flicking through Half-Blood Prince and read something about a certain character death, and I was like, why did I do that? Question 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new? It's not really something that bothers me. I tend to try and buy used books because they're cheaper, and I don't like it when someone else has broken my spine. And my friend will probably watch this and know that this is her. But I lent a friend a book, and it had a completely... It had a small bit of a broken spine, but not a lot, and now the spine's completely like annihilated. It's not that bad, but it's not something that bothers me. It's just a bit strange. I'm more like if the cover gets damaged. Like, the spine's not that big a deal, but if like this one time I lent my copy of Watchmen to a friend of mine, and it came back and there were like little dents that looked like someone had put a bottle on the cover, and I cried because I was like, this is my thing. At the time it was like my favourite thing, and I just I was so heartbroken that I got it back and it was like damaged. So that's more of a thing for me. Or if the cover gets bent back, and no. Question 11, do you write in your books? For uni I did, for actually for uni did I? For A level I did, for A2 definitely, because I had to remember quotes from 4 different books to use in one exam, and it was ridiculous. I try not to. I'd rather, if I do have to write in them for academic reasons, then I will try and write in pencil. Not that I would rub it out because it's like in there now, but like, I don't know, I try not to. Question 12 is who will you tag, and I'm not actually going to tag anyone. I'm going to be really lame and just say if you want to do it you can do it, but yeah, I'm not going to tag anyone. But yeah, those were my reading habits, and I hopefully will see you very, very soon. Again, I'm really sorry that I'm a bit AWOL at the moment, but things will be righting themselves soon. Hopefully we'll be back on a regular basis. I have not given up on this yet, and I really, really don't want to. I will see you all very soon. Take care, stay shiny, bye. None of that made sense, but roll with it, we'll roll with it, it's fine.